Aside from a really solid and interesting speech about not letting oneself get crushed by the awfulness of the world and instead getting up to try and make it better, given by a one shot character, this episode was not the best. I just am not going to remember it in 5 years, and if I do, I might remember some stuff I don't like. I hate these kind of mob or crime type stories where everyone is trying to get some MacGuffin and all these characters have history with each other, and then it ends with everyone double or triple crossing everyone else and some sort of shootout. It's almost always super convoluted, and the climax tends to be the story collapsing in on itself, and that's what happened here. This type of story isn't always done well in movies that have 2 hour long run times. So trying to do it in 40 minutes doesn't work. There's just too much stuff going on. As usual, there is a bunch of stuff I did like. I was charmed by how not scared Dean was of the mob boss because, of course, he's not. The Winchesters have faced far worse than that guy, so why would the mob even make Dean flinch? I also did get a chuckle out of the mob boss having a villain cat. I think it's interesting that Sam flirted back with Margaret Astor because I can't remember the last time Sam did that. I know he has done this occasionally, but Sam doesn't often use his sexuality in this way like Dean does. So why did Sam decide now was the time for him to do that? Another question I have related to Sam is why did Sam pick the locks on his and Dean's handcuffs and not Dean? I thought Dean was the one who always had some sort of lock pick on him. That really isn't important, but it did strike me as just a little odd. So Dean flirted with a girl, and because of the book she was holding, some people made it about Destiel, because apparently the author of the book the lady was holding could possibly be a reference to some real life author whose stories were more than a little gay. I don't know, guys. I skim metas like these, and all I can ever think about is the bargaining commentary where Marty Noxon and the other writers on the track talked about how the characters in the episode wore shirts with numbers on them simply because it was stylish at the time, but fans talked very intensely about what the numbers simply must mean, breaking out numerology charts and stuff, just thinking like, oh, this must have a meaning, but sometimes a cigar is just a cigar, sometimes a number shirt is just a number shirt, and it's very likely that not everything in Supernatural is a secret message to Destiel shippers that requires the special decoder ring to figure out. That author's name could just be the maiden name of a mom's crew member or something totally innocuous like that. I find it interesting that often Destiel shippers who write these type of metas are death of the author type thinkers, but still they put so much time and effort to figure out what special meaning somebody in the crew just might have put in an episode, just waiting there for one of them to figure out. Moving on, as said previously, I liked Father Camilleri's speech. It was basically the same thing Roy Mustang said at the end of FMA, that the world isn't perfect, but it's trying, and that's what makes it beautiful. It's a great sentiment to build a story around, something everyone needs to hear more often, and something that honestly does touch me, so it works. That guy was worthy of being called a most holy man. It might be nice for him to make another appearance, but I'm torn on that because if he comes back, it might just be to kill him since Supernatural is like that. This episode ends with Sam playing Buffy and Gingerbread because Sam has come to the conclusion that they can never completely win. Dean did not play Angel, though, to say that they keep fighting because there are things worth fighting for. This revelation might be forthcoming for Sam, either by Sam figuring it out for himself or somebody else saying it. But Dean did say that he had faith, and that's actually a pretty big deal because Dean has historically been the most faithless character in the series. And a question to ask is why does he have faith at this point? So, what do you think? Sayonara and Auf Wiedersehen.